Get your, you got to read the Bible. Get 22 and 19. Get Deuteronomy 22 and 19.
And they shall immerse him in 100 shekels of silver, and give them unto the father of the damsel, because he hath brought up an evil name upon a virgin of Israel. And she shall be his wife. He may not put her away all of his days.
That's not, turn that on. That's 19?
Yeah, 22, 19.
Start at 18.
18.
Start at 18.
And
Mic volume. Hello? There we go. Yeah.
It says, and the elders of that city shall take that man and chastise him.
Go a verse before.
Okay. This is verse 17. It says, and lo, he hath given occasion of speech against her, saying,
Oh, one before that. One before that.
Okay, 16.
I had to do the same thing, like you going back.
Yeah. Because they just gave that, but that's talking about if he say he married her and she wasn't a virgin. Go ahead.
And the damsel's father shall say unto the elders, I gave my daughter unto this man's wife, and he hated her.
He hated her, right? So matter of fact, go before that.
It's one when he snatches her up or whatever.
That ain't 19. That's the wrong verse. That's 20. That's dealing with. If you want that, start at 24, and we can read down.
Okay, this is the book of Deuteronomy.
Yeah, because that right there is just talking about you get a girl and now because you don't like her, you're going around saying that her father gave you a whore, but it's a girl that wasn't a virgin. See, go ahead.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 22, verse 23. If a damsel that is a virgin be betrothed unto her husband.
So she's betrothed, meaning her father has promised her to a man. Read.
And a man find her in the city and lie with her.
But somebody have sex with her. Read.
Then he shall bring them both out unto the gate of that city.
Read on.
And ye shall stone them with stones.
See that? You shall stone them with stone. What that lets you know? That if a father promises you his daughter, then it's as good as, can't nobody else deal with her. It's as good as y'all being married almost. What does this also disprove? The Immaculate Conception.
That's right.
Because she was espoused to Joseph. So can't nobody knock her up outside of Joseph. Unless it be sin. See? So if you say God did it, you say God is an adulterer. See what I'm saying? That's crazy. Can't say that. Keep going. Just gonna get into the other topics though too. Go ahead.
The damsel, because she cried not.
Because she cried not. If she cried not, what happened? Why was she crying?
Being in the city.
Because she was being forced. Right? So naturally what's gonna happen, somebody trying to force you to have sex, you're gonna try to kick, scream, cry, you're gonna try to escape that, right? So the fact that she didn't cry means she was complicit in the sex act. She submitted to his she submitted to his advances. Right? You said what? Consent. She consented. This is a consensual sexual act that she's involved in. No crime here except for adultery, so they both gotta die, right? Go ahead.
So the story of Susanna, when the men, what she say to them, she had no choice because she was going to be put to death by the men.
By who?
Remember the men? They was.
No, they wanted to have sex with her.
Yeah.
And then she said no, but she said I'm stuck because if y'all say that I committed adultery, I'm gonna die. But if I actually do this, I'm gonna die. But it's because she had that good mind towards the Most High. She said I'm not gonna do it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. All right. It says that they stone them with stones that they died. The damsel because she cried not, being in the city, and the man because he hath humbled his neighbor's wife.
That's right. Say he had what?
Humbled his neighbor's wife.
This is key to understand this whole thing. It say he humbled his neighbor's wife. Right? But we've already established this was consensual. So when it said humble, it was consensual. Remember that. Read.
So thou shalt put away evil from among them.
Go ahead.
But if a man find a betrothed damsel in the field, and the man force her,
he what?
He forced her.
It said, but if now it's talking about force. This is different now, right? This is right. Read.
And lie with her.
Force her to have sex. Go ahead.
Then the man only that lay with her shall die.
You gotta die. See, that's rape. Read.
But unto the damsel thou shalt do nothing.
You shall what?
Thou shalt do nothing.
She's a rape victim. Read.
there is in the damsel no sin.
See, no
worthy
sin.
of
Go
death.
ahead. Worthy of death. She's not worthy of death for that, right? Because she didn't get that with that. When he called her in the field, wasn't nothing she could really do. Go ahead.
For as when a man riseth against his neighbor and slayeth him, even so is this man.
Basically, a rape victim is almost the same as a murder victim. That's what it's saying, right? Keep going.
For he found her in the field, and the betrothed damsel cried.
Yeah, she cried, but there was nothing really she could do.
It's 28. That's
No,
the
we
one
don't keep
thing
going.
we
We're
was
reading the
talking
whole
about.
context
Okay,
here. Go
okay,
ahead.
I got you.
And there was none to save her.
Go
If
ahead.
a man find a damsel that is a virgin,
That is a what?
that is a
That
virgin,
is a virgin. Read.
which is not betrothed,
Which is not betrothed. Read.
and lay hold on her,
And lay hold on her. Read.
and lie with her,
And what?
and lie with her.
Now earlier it said force, right? Do it say anything about force right here? Don't say nothing about force. Lay hold and lie, right? Read.
And they be found.
And if people find out, go ahead.
Then the man that lay with her shall give unto the damsel's father 50 shekels of silver.
See, go ahead.
And she shall be his wife.
Why shall she be his wife? Read.
Because he hath humbled her.
Just like it said in the other consensual act, he humbled her. See? So he humbled her. Humble is consent. Force was already predetermined as force. We know what force is. But this we see the phraseology of humble. Right? Read.
He may not put her away all his days.
See that? Exodus 22 and 16. The book of Deuteronomy. Deuteronomy means second law. So it's reiterating what's already in Exodus, Leviticus, and Numbers. It's the last book of the Torah, right? So it's only repeating stuff that we're going to be able to see elsewhere in the law. So let's read where that's at. Exodus 22:16. Read.
The book of Exodus, chapter 22, verse 16. And if a man entice a maid that is not betrothed and lie with her.
See that? Same thing. But now it's, instead of saying lay hold, it's saying entice. Right? Entice. Read.
He shall surely endow her to be his wife.
You have sex with a woman, she got to be your wife. You have to pay. If she's a virgin, you have to pay her father a dowry. That's all them two verses are talking about the same thing. Right? They went and gone and convoluted that in the rape.
So okay, so this is wrong then. The Wikipedia thing don't make no sense.
Yeah.
Because it straight up says the rapist must marry his victim if she's unwed.
Yeah, exactly. It didn't say about rape. See what I'm saying? Because that's the see. You mean to tell me two verses earlier it say force, but in this one it just don't say force. Why would it say force?
So Alan, so I should be concentrating more on about Wikipedia then. because I wanted a compilation.
You wanted to itemize 613, and I understand that, but you really got to go. You can get that, but everyone who's ever probably sat and itemized it, you really got to just go and check the verses. You know what I'm saying? Even if you're gonna do that, okay, let me go to the verse. Let me see if they got that on point, because you have some that's teaching that you have Numbers 5. You got them teaching that it's a damn abortion. Well, they ain't got nothing to do with an abortion, but they talking about Numbers 5 as an abortion. See, but there was some translation a brother read one time to me, and it literally sounded like a damn abortion, man. You see what I'm saying? But Numbers 5 is talking about the inner thigh rotting in the stomach, right? It's talking about the damn cellulite. You see what I'm saying? But exactly. But they try to make that into a damn the baby. If she was knocked up by somebody else, it's gonna kill the baby. That don't make no sense because you don't know. You're giving her the potion. You don't know if she's been with anybody. So that could be your baby. See what I'm saying? So that's ridiculous.
Kind of why the Bible might say, "Blessed is the man that readeth."
There you go. Blessed is the man that reads. We got to read it. Sometimes we got to go into the language because the translation is just not clear. It just falls short, like in any language. Some things just don't translate, right? In Creole, right? When Levite brothers is at camp and it says saying that's right, we say Sicarii, right? But that doesn't translate into that's right. It translates into like yes it is. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what it translates into, but it to us it means that's right. You see what I'm saying? But it translates into yes it is. So everything don't necessarily translate just the same. You see what I'm saying? Go ahead.
So I didn't get the thing of this, but they use like 165 Wikipedia. It said not to refrain a third generation Edomite convert into the seventh-day assembly.
Yeah, exactly. Meaning, give me a Deuteronomy 23:7, but it's not an Edomite. That's another one with the translation, right? Read.
Deuteronomy chapter 23, verse 7. Thou shalt not abhor an Edomite,
You shall not treat him abominably, read.
For he is thy brother.
For he is our brother. When you look at the word, it's really the word aram, which is Syrian. We're going to prove that. It says, for he is our brother. Hold that. Look at Deuteronomy 26 and 5. It's going to prove that the Syrians are our brothers. Deuteronomy 26 and 5 and Genesis, I believe Genesis 30 going to say the same thing, but read.
It said, this is Deuteronomy chapter 26, verse 5. And thou shalt speak and say before the Lord thy God, a Syrian.
A what?
A Syrian.
A Syrian, read.
Ready to perish was my father.
Jacob was a Syrian ready to perish. Why would it be called Jacob a Syrian? Because he came out of Syria with Laban, his uncle. That's our people. Those are our brothers. Genesis 30. Right? You know what I'm saying? When he said, you thou art my brother, my sister's son. Right? So that's why I said because now it's our brother. But all I was talking about in the third generation is they permitted to come into the assembly, which means they can offer sacrifices at our temple. That's all it means. Go ahead.
Now, that same brotherhood is null and void today, right? Because of after the children of Israel was separated, then the world came in.
Exactly. Well, even put it like this. After the time of the Maccabees, we ain't have brotherhood with no nation. Because the Maccabees going to tell us in 1 Maccabees 2:10, tell every nation that came against them. Every agreement we've ever had with everybody, they betrayed us on. So now it's out the window. You see what I'm saying? It's out the window. But the thing was, when we had our temple, other nations, there's only certain nations that couldn't come and offer if they wanted to offer to the Most High. So, but it told you, these Syrians and these Egyptians, after a few generations, you can let them come and offer. You see what I'm saying? But we was having a problem. The Egyptians, we were sour towards because we just came out of captivity there. But he said basically in a few generations, you can let them, they can come off. You know what I'm saying? Basically, that's all that was being said there. But as far as like Moabites, Ammonites, the 7 particular Canaanites, they could never come off.
29.
You see what I'm saying? Right, 29:14. That's what I'm looking for. Kind of hit that.
All right, this is the book of Genesis chapter 29, verse 14. And Laban said to him, surely thou art my bone and my flesh.
Well, we related, right? Read.
And he abode with him the space of a month. And Laban said unto Jacob, because thou art my brother,
You my brother, right? Go ahead.
shouldest thou therefore serve me for naught?
Yeah, you see, because we were related. That's where the brotherhood comes from. Go back to 23 real quick. See, because that's what Deuteronomy 23 is about. It's about who's allowed to come and sacrifice. That's all it's about. So get 23 in like 2. Who's permitted to enter the temple? Go ahead.
All right, this is the book of Deuteronomy chapter 23, verse 2. A bastard shall not enter into the congregation of the Lord.
Say a bastard shall not enter the congregation of the Lord. What's a bastard? It's a product of incest. It's going to elaborate. Read.
Even to his 10th generation.
And never, right? It says, cannot enter even into his 10th generation. So let's say somebody's a product of incest, right? Then they go and they get with somebody and they have a baby, and then they have a baby, and then they have a baby, and all the way down the line. But if your line go back to that bastard, you never permit it, right? Go ahead.
And shall he not enter the congregation of the Lord, an Ammonite or Moabite?
Say an Ammonite or a Moabite. So how were the Ammonites and the Moabites, how did they come into existence? Lot, his daughters. They're the product of incest. So an Ammonite and a Moabite, read,
shall not enter into the congregation of the Lord.
Contextually, it's the same principle here. These people are a whole nation who are products of this. They can't ever enter the congregation, which means they can't come and offer at the temple. Same thing like any nation, if somebody is a product of incest, they are not permitted to enter into that temple. You see what I'm saying? And offer sacrifice. Most I don't want they sacrifice. So that's the context of this whole thing. So then once we get to 7, dealing with the Edomite, which is really the Syrian, which in the Hebrew word aram, instead of Adam, what we're dealing with is these people after a couple generations, you can start letting them in. It's going to say the same thing about the Egyptian. You can start letting them in. You see what I'm saying? They can come and sacrifice. That's why I said do not abhor with that word abhor. When you look at that word abhor up in the Hebrew, it means treat abominably, right? Like they're not too abominable to come and offer a sacrifice. Like a bastard, a product of incest. He's abominable. Don't let him in here. You see what I'm saying? The Syrians, they straight. You know what I mean? Give them some time. The Egyptians, they straight. Give them some time. They can come if they like and offer sacrifice to them. See what I'm saying? Too bad of water. Lord Christ, I'm desperate for some damn water. Some cash.
And the question, you said something earlier that I never heard before. It definitely makes sense. And I want to think of it, sink it in. Deuteronomy. I know that means the second book.
Second law.
Second law. And you said it expounds on. All it does is expound on.
What's all he did?
Genesis and Exodus.
All of it. So even Deuteronomy 28, there's already something like it in, what is that, Leviticus 27? Like Leviticus 27 is like the same thing, like curses like, but Deuteronomy just kind of takes some of the stuff, like you said, expound. It gets a little bit deeper. You see what I'm saying? It gets a little bit deeper. But see, and that's why it's good, because repetition is key. You see what I'm saying? We got to keep repeating things. So that's why it repeats all the, that's the one where it's like the curses. Cursed is he, but 27 is like what it's telling you if you don't listen to the law. These are some, go ahead.
This Deuteronomy chapter 27, and I'm gonna start at, verse.
That's what I'm thinking about. Or no, you might be right. It might be 26. Oh, you're right. 27 is, I had it backwards. 27 is like, if such and such and such, curse be him. It'll say at the end, but this is like expounding on what the curses will be. Go ahead.
All right, this is the book of Leviticus chapter 26, verse 14. But if ye will not hearken unto me, and will not do all these commandments, if ye shall despise my statutes, or if your soul abhor my judgments, so that ye will not do all my commandments, but that ye break my covenant, I will also do this unto you. I will even appoint over you terror, consumption, and the burning all that shall consume the eyes.
Yeah, so it's the same thing like with the curses. See what I'm saying? Exactly, but it's just Deuteronomy is getting a little bit more specific, getting a little bit more in depth. Leviticus is keeping it a little bit more vague. You see what I'm saying? And also, it puts it a little plainer, because when you deal with all this, like Leviticus means pertaining to the Levites. So the book of Leviticus specifically was taught to the priests, for the priests to have certain commandments, but also for the priests to then dispense to the people. Whereas Deuteronomy is like, this is for everybody to hear. You see what I'm saying? Then you got Numbers, because Numbers got laws in it, but then also it's got history too. And it's got parts where they number us, etc., but also it's got an historical value. When you deal with like Leviticus and Deuteronomy, is predominantly just all straight law and instruction.
And that's why my Bible at the house, when I'm studying, like the title is saying Leviticus to the priest.
To the priest, exactly. It lets you know, boom, Leviticus, this is going to. That's why it's a lot of stuff that's the like priest ordinances, the sons of Aaron are supposed to do this, etc. That's why a lot of that you see in Leviticus, because that's what that's there for. And then when you get to Deuteronomy, it's like, okay, I'm taking the stuff that's really pertinent to everybody from all the law before this, and we reiterate it. You know what I'm saying? That's why you see a lot of that stuff. Even like Gambia, pretty much every law got the precept for it. You're gonna hit Deuteronomy for the precept if you see it elsewhere.
So this is my road when I was reading the day list. This is not Wikipedia. This is 613 for me.
Yeah, okay, I know what you're doing.
Right?
I know what you're doing.
So, Munster, where I'm about to go in a couple of weeks, right? East India today.
Yeah, okay, there, Munster.
We go up in this store, got the 6 guy.
Shiva, yeah.
Shiva there with candles all around.
Yeah.
I'm reading this, and I'm like, it says, do not love those who entice others into idolatry.
Yeah.
Do not cease hating an idolater. Do not save an idolater for execution.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a whole
Deuteronomy 13.
Yeah, there's a whole list of them. So, basically, I ain't supposed to be even going in the store.
Well, if you had to go in the store, but what you cannot do, you can't eat out of this store.
What if you're selling food?
You can't get that food.
I'm sorry, I didn't
You can't get that.
understand. I don't store.
If you go up in a store and they got idols in that store,
Right.
not if they sell idols in the store, but if they got idols up themselves in the store. You see what I'm saying? If they got their God in the supermarket, don't shop in that super. Because give me that in Acts. In Acts. See what I'm saying? Acts restrain themselves from blood and from food offered unto idols.
One other thing, they got the island on lock. They run the food chain.
See, I thought it was the Irish that had the island on.
No,
But the East Indian that came to the East Indian man. Let me tell you something about the East Indian man, right? You got a sister, right? Or no, a brother. Y'all heard about the little girl? She went missing like last month, right? Last month, maybe the end of August. You talking about the Lyft driver or the Uber driver drove off with her?
Yeah.
So look, it was an East Indian girl. She killed that little girl. She killed a little 2-year-old sister, killed her. Right? Drove off, got out the car, drove off with the baby in the back seat. They caught her, she ain't had the baby. They found the baby still in the car seat. Just in some woods, still in the car seat, dead. That's the East Indian, man. These are wicked people. Wicked people. And you act like they act like they just didn't meditate all the time. And they just wise and they got the damn dot on their head. But no, they coming over to do what? To leech off of our people. Like you said, they got the whole food thing on lock.
In Montserrat. They got, the whole food supply in Montserrat comes through them. There's a couple of brothers that got stores.
Just a couple, huh?
Yeah, there's a couple. But everybody else, they got their idols in there. Everybody come in there, real cool with them and so forth. But as I'm reading that, I'm
Stinking.
like, as I read them that, I'm like, wow, man, I ain't got to get happy with this.
Yeah, nah, you really can't. Especially at that shit, like, when they got them idols up.
I mean, in back of the cash register.
It's there,
the
yeah.
Candles are running all time.
That's letting you know that they sanctifying all that money that's being made to that idol. You see what I'm saying? Just like when you go up in a restaurant, they got Caesar Borgia up in the restaurant, or they got any deity. You see what I'm saying? That they worshiping that way. You already know, like, oh no, they basically saying everything in here. Like you go to eat, you gotta watch, especially messing with an Asian spot. Is Buddha up in there?
Hey, I see them big man. I see them Buddha things all the time.
You see them all the time. They got that big Buddha, so that lets you know. You gotta go to the. You can't. You see what I'm saying? No, listen, but they'll have that. You see what I'm saying? That's why. As soon as you walk in, you supposed to look, because they let people know. We just used to, but they let people know like we about our God. You see what I'm saying? Like we letting you know everything that come in here, it's about this God, nigga. You can believe whatever you want, nigga. It's offered to this deity. You see what I'm saying? They let you know that on top.
You go in there, and you give them the dab on everything. Guys like,
Yeah, like no, that's not the. You ain't supposed to mess with them people, because those people is wicked. This is how we here now. We messing with these dudes. You know what I'm saying? So they're showing you that preferably you mess with your own people too. You see what I'm saying? If at all possible. Go ahead, King.
Now, let me ask you this. With us being in the land of our captives, and we have to depend on them from certain. Now, I understand what you're saying. If it's a choice, if you can go down the street a block, and then you go
get something different.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But you in the middle of nowhere, and this is all you got.
Well, here's the law on that. That's why you got it. I'm gonna show it to you right. This is what they had, because it was the same issue that was plaguing brothers that was living in Greece and Rome and all that during that time. And this is what the apostles concluded. Read.
All right, this is the book of Acts, chapter 15, verse 29. Let me read 28.
It's perfect.
It says, "For it seemed good to the Holy Spirit and to us to lay upon you no greater burden than these necessary things."
So he's saying these are like the least basic commandments that they're giving. Like, soon as you find out, soon as you learn you in the truth, this is the base level you're supposed to start at. Right here, read.
"That ye abstain from meats offered to idols."
That's the first thing. The first thing is, listen, if it's offered to an idol, don't deal with it. You see what I'm saying? Just that's the first step you make. And even exactly, because even when I first came to the truth, the first thing I'm doing is what? The first thing you're doing is the food, the dietary law. That's the first thing people. Okay, we cutting this out. So he's saying, listen, on top of just the dietary, if it's offered, stay away from things offered to idols, because this was a problem that was plaguing brothers in Greece, especially. That's like the home of damn idolatry. You see what I'm saying? They got a damn god. They got so many gods out there. So and there's so many different cults. So they like, look, you go up in there, don't do that, right, Reed?
"And from blood."
And from what?
"And from blood."
And from blood also, bloody meat, right, Reed?
"And from things strangled."
And from things strangled now, things that aren't slaughtered properly, right? Because they were cooking bloody food up there, but also they would just strangling, then you're supposed to slaughter the animal. They were strangling. Strangle we don't got to worry about because it's pretty much the standard of the damn earth that you slaughter an animal. You see what I'm saying? Even if something's not halal or kosher rather, they still slaughter the animal. You see what I'm saying? Even the white man do that. Read.
And from fornication.
And from unlawful sex. Read.
From which if ye kept yourselves, ye shall do well.
That's right. So basically, the base level things is keeping certain dietary requirements and not fornicating. That's the base level. So that abstaining from food offered unto idols. That's one of the first things that we got to do. That's Acts what?
15 and 29.
15 and 29. Now give me Revelation 2. Because Christ, Yahweh Shai, he going to reiterate it in Revelation 2. Right?
Book of Revelation.
What was that? What was the end? Maybe like 15? Not that. You probably got it right. There you go, but I have a few things. Okay, yeah, right there, from 14.
All right, this is the book of Revelations, chapter 2, verse 14. But I have a few things against thee.
You have a few things against this church. What are they, Read?
Because thou hast there them that hold the doctrine of Balaam.
Of Balaam, right, Read?
Who taught Balak to cast a stumbling block before the children of Israel, to eat things sacrificed unto idols.
So Christ is against that. Yahweh Shai is against eating things sacrificed to idols. Read.
And to commit fornication. So hast thou also them that hold the doctrine of the Nicolaitans, which thing I hate. Repent, or else I will come unto thee quickly, and will fight against them with the sword of my mouth.
So Yahweh Shai said he's fighting against anybody that's eating food sacrificed to idols. He's coming against that. And that not just goes for that too. That goes for brothers that want to still get a plate from mama on Thanksgiving.
That's right.
You eating food sacrificed to idols. You see what I'm saying? You got certain brothers that they still go get a Thanksgiving dinner.
You can eat the food, huh?
Yeah, you can eat the food. That doctrine, Yahweh Shai said he against that. Go ahead.
So let me get the technicality of that, right? So okay, you got a store, you got the elephant god in there, whatever. So their whole store is basically the money.
They said, I'm gonna be honest with you, they're sacrificing that whole store to idols. See, it's rare that you see a whole store, because we used to shop in America where it's some damn Walmart. We going into Walmart, they don't got no idol up at Walmart. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's a little different. Go ahead.
Unless they got it like in the back of their office.
Yeah, and we just wouldn't know. We wouldn't know. You see what I'm saying? So you
out there in the open.
Exactly. So everything, so a place like that, especially where they selling food, it's different if you going in there buying a damn t-shirt or something. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you over here buying food and beverages and things like that, it's a different thing. You see what I'm saying? It's a whole different thing. You know what I mean? Now, listen, you was copping a t-shirt out of there, hey brother, keep getting your clothes in there, who cares? You know what I'm saying? It don't say nothing about clothes, you know what I mean? But it certainly is emphasizing about that food.
Even if it's like across the place or something, not food that they selling, but like food that they imported.
See, even if it's food, here's the problem with this food that they import, because they offering all of that food. They got it now, but they offering it still. You see what I'm saying? That's why they got it there.
And you contributing to that.
And now you contributing to that. You see what I'm saying?
They did to you over the whole thing.
Over the whole thing.
They covered it like in the
Exactly.
the church say they covered it in the blood.
Listen, that's why they got them candles. Like you said, them candles is going all day. They let you know. Because what are they thinking? What are they thinking? If we keep this candle burning, it's going to be more prosperity for it.
I found out it's about $30 million a year in their money, right? It's about maybe $50 million a year.
Okay.
That 4,000 people spend yearly, and about 90% of that money goes to the kids. Maybe 80%. I'm pushing that, but the majority of that money
probably
goes
about
to the
20 M's is going to the end.
They get it.
Wow. See, but this is the type of stuff I'm talking about, where what a lot of people don't understand is, from the tribe of Judah, is even us that have our own countries, the rest of the tribes, we still don't prosper in our own country. It's somebody else that comes and prosper. Like, remember when IKEA, the owner of IKEA, was the richest man in the world? Right? Now, he's from Mexico, but he's not Mexican. He's Lebanese. You see what I'm saying? But he was born in Mexico, right? No, is he Swedish? No. No, he's Lebanese. He's Lebanese. But he might have bought IKEA from the Swedish. Something like that. He's Lebanese, but they saying the richest man is Mexican, because to be Mexican, all you gotta do is be born in Mexico and have Mexican citizenship. You don't have to really be an indigenous person of Mexico, you know what I'm saying? You just stay there. Like Louis C.K., the comedian, he's Mexican. Why? Because he's born in Mexico. He's not Mexican though. He's Jewish. You see what I'm saying?
What's
But
the boxer Canelo?
No, Canelo's a brother. Canelo's a brother. Listen, everybody could be. They looking at red hair and stuff. You look
I
at his.
heard his father was Irish.
Nah, you look at his pops. His pops look like any other Mexican. You see what I'm saying? He might have maybe on his mother's side or something,
Right.
some recessive trait. You see what I'm saying? But yeah, but because people just look because he's light skinned, he got the red hair, but his pops don't look like that. He's just like a Mexican version of Blake Griffin. You see what I'm saying? Same exact thing. You know what I'm saying? So he got some of the recessive stuff, but Canelo, well, that's why they meant even Canelo, because Canelo's not his name. That's how they teased him. Kids teased him when he was little. The Mexican kid, you're Canelo, you look like cinnamon. You see what I'm saying? Because it's cinnamon color hair and stuff. That's what that means. His name is what's it? His real name starts with a C, but Canelo is like a tease. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, something Alvarez, but it starts with a C too, right? But that's how the kids used to tease him. Canelo. You see what I'm saying? So, but it's showing you that you got people that just move to a country and then they get prosperous there. But see, give me Deuteronomy 28 real quick. The stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high. And show you. This brother, the brother Chris, you'd have been out there in these different countries. So you already know what time it is, man. It's a car coming in, he working for nothing, you know what I'm saying? There's some Edomites sitting at the top, yeah.
Shalom, what's going on? It's your brother, Chief Priest Alazar Lawyer, aka the Guerrilla Hebrew, and I'm just letting y'all know I just dropped my official clothing line, Urban Guerrilla. Go to urbangorilla.com right now to check us out, man, and pick something up. There's URBNGRLA.com. We got all kind of items for men, women, children, even infants, as well as fragrance oil, smell goods. You can also check out Hebrew Israelite Clothing Co., another Sicarii business, on Instagram and Facebook. And as always, you can hit up deaconsicari.com to get your plug on the scarves, the music, and the children's Bibles. Thanks for your time. All praise to the Most High. Kwam Yasharala. Shalom.